Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Thursday, March 13th, around 10 p.m. Mountain Time 2025. Tonight's the big night, the full super moon eclipse. Yeah, get out there. It begins at 2:26 a.m. on the East Coast and 11:26 a.m. on the West Coast, and for the rest of the time zones, you can figure it out. Totality and the whole event lasts about an hour, and we'll get to all the details in just a moment. We also have an eruption likely in Alaska, Spurr Volcano about to go boom, and the last two eruptions were at VEI 4. We also have a very dangerous storm about to make its way across the U.S. Keep calm. It's boom time. A California atmospheric river is threatening flooding in areas still reeling from wildfires, especially in the LA region. But good news, San Diego sees rain today and flooding with downed trees, but no major problems during the storm. Unfortunately, they weren't so lucky in TJ. Yeah, we're talking Tijuana. Storms pummeled Tijuana today with widespread flooding, landslides, fallen trees, and traffic accidents reported. And this will continue overnight and into tomorrow. As a March megastorm may bring blizzards, tornadoes, flooding, and even fires across much of the U.S. It's insane, but a high-risk severe weather, spring, ding, ding, tornado outbreak targets 30 states through Sunday. Oh, fun day. A strengthening storm will likely trigger hundreds of high wind incidents and perhaps dozens of tornadoes from Friday afternoon to Sunday. Holy macaroni. And this is for the central, southern, and eastern U.S. Let's talk about the severe thunderstorm threat Friday afternoon to Friday night, right through the center of the U.S., from Minneapolis and Green Bay south to New Orleans. The biggest threat, the highest threat, is in the center, right there, St. Louis, Kansas City, Chi-Town, Omaha, Indy, Nashville, Memphis. Heed the warnings and be prepared, not scared. Power outage risk Friday to Friday night. I hope you've got your backup generators or battery banks ready for an event like this. It's going to be widespread, significant tornado threat late Friday afternoon through Friday night for St. Louis, Jonesboro, Little Rock, Tupelo, and Evansville. Heed the warnings and be prepared to get out of harm's way. Here is the exclusive look at severe thunderstorms Saturday through Saturday night. The storm will move east. The biggest threat, New Orleans, Jackson, areas near Atlanta, and all the way up through Nashville. Flash flooding, hail, tornadoes, widespread damaging wind gusts to 75 miles per hour. And that's just the beginning. We have a significant tornado threat Saturday afternoon and Saturday night for New Orleans, Jackson, Tupelo, Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile. And the power outage risk continues through the weekend, Saturday and Saturday night, from Detroit, Chi-Town, Indy, all the way down. The greatest risk is the Atlanta region, central Alabama, down into New Orleans. And Sunday evening, the storm finally makes its way over to the coast, and the severe thunderstorm threat drops to moderate for Virginia Beach, Raleigh through Augusta. The winds will drop 10 miles per hour to 65 miles per hour with localized flooding, travel delays, and hopefully no coastal tornadoes. But the wind will be very windy. Yes, we like that very windy wind. Sunday through Sunday night, AccuWeather showing 75 mile per hour gusts for the entire East Coast from South Carolina up to Maine. It's insane. So we are definitely going to see some wildfire outbreaks from this. And, well, red flag warnings are up all over the central U.S. And here's the full forecast. We've got a severe weather outbreak Friday and Saturday with extremely critical fire weather on Friday. An intense and fast-moving line of storms is expected across the Mississippi Valley into the Ohio and Tennessee valleys Friday afternoon into early Saturday. Significant wind gusts, strong tornadoes, and large hail are expected. This severe weather outbreak will then shift into the deep south on Saturday with extremely critical fire weather conditions forecast over the southern plains Friday. Heed the warnings. I'm sure we'll see some major pop-up wildfires. We'll be reporting on them tomorrow. Click on your county at weather.gov for more information. And we'll take a quick look here at the GFS model. You can see where the storm is currently. It has moved into the Four Corners region. We are receiving precipitation now as we speak. Started about an hour ago. 3 hours from now, we should be in it deep with heavy snow falling overnight in the Four Corners region. Should be clearing out tomorrow afternoon. The storm picks up here Friday night into Saturday morning as it bombs out, now showing 972. That is lower than yesterday. This is going to be a big one. And blizzard conditions on the back end here for North, South Dakota, and Minnesota. And then the severe weather kicks up Saturday and into Sunday as it moves east and finally offshore by Monday morning. A quick look at the total accumulated precipitation will show where the major flooding will occur. We've got 6 or 7 inches forecast for western Kentucky and western Tennessee right on the state line there. So that bubble will see some big problems. There are also some major areas where we could see some flash flooding with 4 inches or more of rain in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, up through central Pennsylvania, the Catskills, and into the Adirondacks there. The big winter chicken dinner is the West Coast with 9 to 14 inches of precipitation through Monday morning. That's crazy. And we're talking about the state line in Northwest California and Southwest Oregon. So we're going to see some major flooding events there. The good news, Southern California will only be picking up an inch or more of rain through the event. So we probably won't get major debris flows down there. But the potential for the Sierras, Northern California, all of Oregon, and central Idaho exists. So big storm here. All right, let's take a look at the total snowfall because everyone's wondering what this spring storm will bring as far as totals. Let's move it through 3, 6, 9 hours. By morning, you're going to be seeing 10, 12 inches on the entire Sierra Crest, 16 or more up in Northern California here, and a foot or more in all the high elevations of the Rockies. We'll move it through the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning. There is your snow outlook. Some areas of Idaho could be picking up 4 feet or more, as well as the northern Sierras there. But most regions in the Rocky Mountains will be seeing a foot to 16 inches. That's just about it. Good news for the ski resorts and the runoff for the rafting season. Yes, for shits and giggles, we'll move it through the rest of March here. Here is next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Next weekend, another storm will bring more snow to the west. And, well, the model's showing something big coming here at the end of March. Holy macaroni. Shut up, Al! Get in your hole! Al Gore says it doesn't snow in spring anymore. Or at all, for that matter. We've had our eyes on this major seismic uptick on the Reykjanes Peninsula at the Reykjanes Volcano. This is not Svartsvangi. This is not Grindavik. That would be in this region. And there are some earthquakes now happening there now. We're waiting for the next phase of the Grindavik eruption, which will happen in the next day or so, according to many experts, and Diamond, who happens to be one of them. But is there an imminent eruption at Reykjanes Volcano? It's anyone's guess. It appears as if magma is being in place there, and we could be seeing some more spicy activity in another volcanic location on Iceland in the near future. Seismic update. The biggest quake sticks out at you right away up here in the middle of Alaska in a little city called Ambler. This is where all the gold mining happens up there, or a major area of gold mining in Ambler. It's a gold mining town. They also mine lead and heavy metals and other things there. But I do digress. So lots of folks up in Ambler felt that 5.1. It was only at 9.8 kilometers. And I wonder if it was maybe an explosion, perhaps. But not showing up as one. Overall, low-level activity worldwide. Nothing significant except the boom up in Ambler. How do you like them apples? Alaska's volcano eruption is likely. It could send ash to states' population centers within weeks. And we're talking about Spurr Volcano. Officials from the Alaskan Volcano Observatory reported Wednesday morning that flights over the Spurr Volcano on Friday and Tuesday detected increased gas emissions. In fact, you can see it emanating from the caldera there right now. And Mount Spurr, 80 miles west of Anchorage, bad news because weather travels east, and the closest active volcano to Alaska's population centers. The gas emission shows that new magma has formed under the volcano, which indicates that an eruption is likely, but not certain, to occur within the next few weeks or months, according to researchers. The follow months of unrest, during which the researchers detected an increase in the number of small earthquakes at Mount Spurr starting in the spring of 2024. We'll check those out in just a moment, so hold on to your hats. That caused the Alaska Volcano Observatory to raise the code for Mount Spurr to yellow, or advisory status, in October. In February, researchers said the earthquakes and deformation of the volcano continued, but they said at the time they were equal chances the volcano would erupt or not erupt. Well, let's take a look at the data for ourselves over here. At the Smithsonian National Museum Global Volcanism program, we can see the eruptive history of Spurr is sparse indeed. They do have some data, though, and the last two eruptions that are confirmed are both VEI-4, an explosive effusive eruption in 1953 and an explosive effusive eruption in 1992. It appears as if every 40 years, this baby goes boom. So 90, 02, 12, 22, it's anyone's guess this could erupt anytime soon, and at VEI-4. What does that mean? It's going to blow its top off again, be highly silicious and explosive. Could be a rhyolitic lava. Let's see what they say as far as general information. Mount Spurr is the closest volcano to Anchorage, Alaska, which is bad news for the folks there, and just northeast of Kachemanning Lake. The summit is a large lava dome at the center of a roughly 5-kilometer wide amphitheater open to the south, formed by a late Pleistocene or early Holocene debris avalanche associated with pyroclastic flows. The good news is that no one lives on the flank of this particular volcano. It is a stratovolcano caldera lava dome composite. The lava type is andesitic and basaltic andesitic. Andesite lava tends to be more explosive. Basaltic andesite, moderately explosive. So we'll wait to see what develops at Spurr, and we will keep you informed as the number of quakes, well, you can see it here. This is the last year, has been increasing. A major uptick in September of last year, a major swarm in December, right at the new year, and we are continuing with high-level activity. And notice how it's ramping up towards the surface. If I could draw a line here, yeah. We can't really look at the last 6 months. That sucks. But you could see here over the last 5 months, the activity is focusing itself above 5 kilometers. And that means there's a high chance this baby will go boom. Worldwide volcano news for the day. We've got Liwa Toby to 8,000 feet today. Let's run them down. Raung, a new volcano on the list. 16,000 foot blast there. Holy macaroni. Spurr Volcano, elevated gas emissions. We just covered it all. Reventador, new volcanic ash emissions. Santiaguito to 14,000 feet. Languila. Holy macaroni. 2 new volcanoes on the list today. A 10,000 foot blast at Languila. Holy macaroni. Dukono to 7,000 feet. Semadu, who knew? Now you do puffing and passing today. Ibu to 7,000. Sakurajima, 8,000 foot puff. Liwatobi to 8,000 as well. Nivado de Ruiz, 21,000 foot blast there. Semadu, 15,000 foot puff. Ibu, look at the clouds there. That looks fantastic. Ibu to 7,000. Reventador, no volcanic ash located. Santa Guido to 14,000 foot. Sakurajima, 8,000 foot blast there. Semadu to 15,000 foot. Liwatobi to 6,000 foot. Wrapping up the list, Liwatobi with an 8,000 foot puff. Space weather, we've got some slightly elevated sea flare activity, nothing spectacular. We are in low-level geomagnetic storm, which means the aurora probability tonight for northern Canada is quite good, especially if you're up in northern Canada. So get out and look up, all you Canadiatards. There is a geomagnetic storm watch continuing. This is due to accentuated southern BZ here, another southern push. And plasma speed is rising up towards 600 kilometers per second. But you can see a major portion here yesterday pushing south, and that causes our magnetic field to get unstable and geomagnetic conditions to exist. So this may continue tonight and into tomorrow. So get out and look up for the full blood moon lunar eclipse with aurora. Can you believe it? I can. Speaking of which, the blood moon boom is tonight, 2025 blood moon boom, happening now. The best time to see the March total lunar eclipse spring blood moon boom is, well, you only get one chance, and it's tonight. It's the full worm moon as well. What does that all mean? Well, it means we need to get new fishing licenses in Colorado. Yeah, they begin in March during the full worm moon. Now, when can you see the eclipse of the full blood moon? The worm moon? Well, it's tonight. Well, actually tomorrow morning for many. The only place it's tonight is in Pacific time, where it begins 11:26 p.m. and ends 12:31 a.m. tomorrow. Central time, 1:26 a.m. and 2:31 a.m. it finishes. For Mountain time, it will be 12:26 a.m. to 1:31 a.m. and for Eastern time, 2:26 a.m. to 3:31 a.m. So if you're on the East Coast, you lose. If you got to go to work tomorrow, you ain't watching it, or you may be calling in sick. But I do digress. It should be fantastic and spectacular. And get out and watch the full blood moon, worm moon, super moon, boom, total lunar eclipse tonight. And a topic Lee and I will be discussing on our radio show on Saturday, which continues the discussion. Does cosmic radiation cause all evolution on Earth? Is panspermia the number one reason why there's life on our planet? Because it gets tossed around the entire universe, just moving from solar system to solar system? Well, that's probably exactly how it works. And then it's tweaked by cosmic radiation. We are all cosmic animals. We are all creatures living in this universe, and the universe has created us and our consciousness, for goodness sakes. Now, we're going to be discussing at least 2 mass extinction events in Earth's history, big ones, that were likely caused by the devastating effects of nearby supernova explosions, maybe our own sun, according to a new study. Violent supernova triggered 2 Earth extinctions. We're talking about the supernova explosion close to Earth could be to blame for both the late Devonian and the Ordovician extinction events, which occurred 372 and 445 million years ago, respectively. We'll go over all of the geology, all the taxonomy, and what occurred on these boundaries, and it's spectacular. On one side of the boundary is a complete biome of species, and on the other side is a bunch of new stuff that never existed on Earth, which no one has been able to explain. But maybe we'll get to the bottom of it on Saturday on Revolution Radio, Studio B, noon Mountain Time. And in Spain, scientists uncover the oldest face in Western Europe. The facial bones of an adult nicknamed Pink, unearthed in Spain, rewrites humanity's early history in Europe, and it keeps getting older. The anatomy of Pink's face is more primitive than that of our other Homo ancestors who inhabited Western Europe around 850,000 years ago, and may very well be a new species we were never aware about. I'm sure, and I've posited that there's probably hundreds of hominid species we don't know about because the fossils are just so hard to come by. And having a face fossil that's 1 to 1.4 million years old is absolutely fascinating. Yeah. The discovery makes the adult named pink the oldest faced in Western Europe, according to archaeologists, and may be a very new species. We're just getting started. All the links will be below. And bad news, if you don't have a generator or a solar power bank, you may be in the dark in the next few days. But if this is something that you've been considering, consider supporting our channel and supporting your preparedness by buying from Oops. The Oops Exodus 1500, the newest model, is coming out now. Only 30 cents per watt hour on launch day. Yeah, 43% off. All of the deep discounts at Oops will continue through March and spring so that you can get yourself up to a level of preparedness that you enjoy. The new Oops model 1500 will be selling. It's available now. And you've got 30 hours to go get it. Almost half price, just $449 for a 1500 watt, 1488 watt hour unit. Can charge in just a few hours with a single solar panel array, which can keep you running day after day in a power outage. If a smaller unit like the 1500 doesn't meet your standard, well, Oops has every size of power station you could ever need. The Mega 5 portable power station has 4,000 watts of output in one of the biggest units, but the Titan 5 has more capacity, so you can run things like refrigerators or freezers or anything you want day by day and recharge it just a few hours via the sun. Go get the power bank that pleases at the price you need, and we all win. It's a big win. And I want to thank each and every one of you that went over to our friend Angela's GoFundMe and helped her get out of a bind. Yeah, she was about to become homeless. She needed some car work and some tires. The state said that her being homeless wasn't a priority. If she was being raped or something, they could help her. But if you're just going to go out on the street with your mother who needs critical care, we don't give a... How about you use the... Yeah, anyway. Canada is a shithole. So please, if you have a couple bucks, help Angela meet her goal. She's just a couple $100 away Canadian. That's not even like normal dollars. Give her $20 US or 20 Canadian dollars. It's just $13.77 US. So give till it hurts, dig deep, and make her reach her goal. That's all I'm saying. And that's a boom to knowledge. We love each and every one of you. Thank you all for the support for Angela on her GoFundMe. Check out the Oops website and get the power bank you need. And we love each and every one of you. We'll see you over at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange on the 13th and 14th of April in Moffett, Colorado. Be safe. We love you. And that is a boom.